We've come out today and to demonstrate our concern about the problems in the Christina School District, most of which we believe have developed as part and parcel to the Neighborhood School Act, the Charter School Act, and the fact of the matter is what we're concerned about is the educational well-being of our children. And if we look at the 10th grade set scores in this school district, 70 to 90% of the youngsters in 10th, minority youngsters in 10th grade are not meeting standards in the critical areas of writing, reading, math, science, and social studies. We think it's outrageous and it's time for a change. As part and parcel to that, there in this school district, last school year there was an unprecedented 19,000 suspensions of youngsters, and when it's to the point that 40% of a student body in one particular high school is suspended at least once, we maintain that there's a pervasive mean spirit in the district that has to be dealt with, and that it's not just the kids. Certainly it's a systemic problem within the school system itself, so that's why we're here.
That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and given the best place wherever. Nobody helps me into carriages nor over the muddy patches or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could best me ever. Ain't I a woman? I could work as hard and eat as much as a man when I could find it, and take the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most of them sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, no one but Jesus heard me.
Dear God, we come to you at this time of protest, this time of peaceful anticipation.
You said 40%. What school was that? 40% in Christiana High School, and we believe it was a comparable number. 40% in Christina High School, around 40% at Glasgow High School, and 37% at Newark High School. And when it's to the point where 40% of the students, all the students in the school are suspended at least once, it's not the kids, it's the system.
So what's the solution to the problem?
Well, the solution to the problem is for the state to come forward and do what it promised it was going to do as a state 10 years ago. Number one, the city of Wilmington should not be divided into 4 districts any longer. We agreed on 2, and we want those 2 as opposed to the 4. And most importantly, the additional resources that we agreed were necessary to educate youngsters in high poverty schools, the high poverty schools that they created. We want those additional resources, and they have not been forthcoming. We've waited 10 years for that alone, and we've waited 32 years for them to fix this system, and so it's time for change.
I spent a lot of time yesterday, and I quoted Dr. King, and I didn't sleep well last night because I said to myself, you're not the kind of man to throw no stone and hide your hand. I'm throwing this stone. And this is your time, and you got to be eloquent, and you got to be all those things. And I thought about it, I said, I can't be that. I got to be me. And it ain't about me. These are my kids here. I'm talking about my kids from Hilltop. Yes, I emptied the center. Because it's about them. If I'm telling them all day, every day, you can be anything you want to be and you can have anything you want to have, there has to be an opportunity. I'm not asking the state to work miracles. James Brown, my favorite entertainer, said it, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Open up the door. Open up the door and I'll get it myself. I'm not asking you to give them anything. I'm asking you to give them what they deserve. Do the same thing for them that you do for everybody else's children. It's fundamental fairness. I'm not going to sit here and I'll act like an orator. At the point where there's a change in leadership in the Colonial School District in the next 2 months, I'm the longest one standing in the arena. And I look at this town, this city that I love, and I feel like I have failed. Because the January 9, 1978 school desegregation order was supposed to be of, for, and about children. We won the litigation, and we lost our children. We lost what those who came before us fought so hard to get. What's common sense? These are our children. This is our city.
That's right.
No longer, never again, can the city of Wilmington be the only city in the United States of America where the city fathers and mothers have no say-so in the education of our own children. We elect a mayor, we elect city council, they are the mothers and fathers of our children. How dare you? How dare you exclude them from the process that affects our future? How dare you just take away? So, one of the things I said yesterday on TV is, I play hard, but I play fair. I can't say that about some of the folks we're dealing with now, but I play fair. The fact of the matter is, it's not this governor's fault. This governor didn't bring about, cause the Neighborhood School Act. It's not this governor's fault that promises that were made at the table 10 years ago have not been kept. I don't say it's anybody's fault right now, but what I do say, while we're not going to point fingers at whose fault it is, nobody is harmless. We all have a responsibility. If we are in this together and we're united, we can save them, we can save our city and our future as a people. But I have done everything I know to do. In the 32 years, we sat down and we negotiated, we've litigated, and in the last 2 years alone, I said, this is wrong. I went to the Office of Education, the United States Civil Rights in Philadelphia. I said, this is wrong with Colonial. 2 years later, no answer. I went to the Attorney General of the state and said, General, these are the concerns. These are the things that I'm concerned about. Will you give us a legal opinion? He said, I don't represent you. I only represent state agencies, and those are the ones that I give opinions to. I said to this governor, in the previous school year there were 25,000 out of school suspensions. He said, if elected, I will assign Lieutenant Governor Dan to work with you to resolve these problems. A year ago, we met with Lieutenant Governor Dan, and most of the folks here were in that room, and we said, Colonial's the biggest problem. Will you help us get a meeting with them? He sent a letter, and we got a letter back from Colonial that said, essentially, it's counterproductive. But it's my understanding that the state's position is, as far as we're concerned right now, the Neighborhood School Act is a law, and if you want to sue, sue. That's not what we want to do. We want to look toward solutions, and those solutions, just give us the things you promised us 10 years ago. We said Wilmington should not be in 4 districts. We agreed to 2. Make it 2. We said that You're going to purposely and intentionally create all these high poverty, resegregated schools, and these are the resources that you need to put in them to educate our kids. We need extended school years. We need extended school days. We need smaller class sizes. We need interventionists. We need parent advocacy and support services. We need parent training. We need mental and social services in our schools working in partnership on behalf of our children. All we said was, we need a chance. And 10 years later, nothing has been forthcoming. And I'm saying, this is not about simply protesting. This is about solutions. We are willing to see, never again, be it me or anybody else, never again should one person be given the responsibility of going in boardrooms and going to board meetings by himself. This has to be done as a unified effort. Never again should anybody in a leadership capacity not cry out and say, I need help. Never again should our children, their destiny be left in the hands of one individual. It's an unrealistic expectation. But you know what? That was then. This is now. We're all here together. And this is historic because you got two branches of the NAACP, the elected black officials, the clergy, and unions standing together. Governor, we want to meet with you. We want to resolve the problem. We don't want to fight with you. But you know what? If you won't meet and you won't act in good faith, we're not going to go away. We're going to fight another day. This is not the way we want to do it, but we need to save our children. It's all about children. And I'm saying to you today, we want to meet with the governor. We want to put solutions in place, and we're going to continue. This is the beginning, not the end. We're going to go forward, and we're going to meet at the Christina School District. We're going to be at the school board meetings. We're going to be at city council meetings. We're going to say to city council, we don't, you know, it's your responsibility. Speak with one voice with us and say, we're going to take on this responsibility. Give us the 2 school districts. Give the city mothers and fathers oversight, management responsibilities. Let them be accountable. That's what we're talking about. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Will you help us? Will you help us? Help our children. Thank you so very, very much for coming, and I'm going to ask the next school board meeting of the Christina School District is April 20th, and we're going to have other announcements about things that we're going to do. But I said yesterday we would come prayerfully and peacefully. We're going to leave peacefully and prayerfully.
And join hands with someone. Join hands if you just touch someone's hand, and let's join together in solidarity. Amos says that we ought to touch and agree, and so we come here today to lift up prayers to God. I'm so glad that God has been included in the equation. And the Bible says that if the people of God will call by his name, would humble themselves and pray and seek God's face, then it says God will hear from heaven, forgive our sin, and heal the land. We have to acknowledge our sin in order to get some healing in the land. We've got some things to do. So let's lift up prayers to Almighty God. We're glad that God has been included in the equation. Let's bow our heads. Eternal and most gracious God, it has been said today, dear God, by the most prophetic understanding that we don't want anybody to give us nothing. Just open the door and we will get it ourselves.